another segment of Lattes with LeeAnn, and I've got a very special guest today with Elite Inspections, and we've been using Elite Inspections for quite a few years, but I actually have Robbie Hett, who is the son of the person who started Elite, and you guys have a pretty big business, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. We have for 40 years now.
Yes. Well, you do a great job, and that's the reason we use you. So, you know, some of our viewers kind of wonder about inspections, what you look at, what you don't look at. I think in a house like this, you're going to have a horrible time finding something to complain about. You know, every once in a while, do you ever get home where you can't even find anything?
Very rarely. I mean, just instinctual, very rarely. But when those do come along, having the confidence to tell someone, this is a great house, it's almost perfect. That's actually a good feeling as an inspector, to be able to tell someone that and watch their face light up and know that, hey, we got this, this is the one. So
yeah, it makes them feel really smart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. So when you are going from house to house, you do each room separately and call out everything in that room that could be an issue, right?
Yeah, detailed. Everything's categorized in our brain. That's why we were trained. So we just basically grid the house off and kind of go through this room would be this room. Once I leave, I'm done here. Everything in here is checked. So.
And you even check all of the connections, all of the electrical outlets, light bulb, everything, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's fabulous.
Everything that we can get to, right?
Yeah. I hope you don't break the walls down to look at the plumbing inside the walls, for sure. So, what have been your most recent, if you have any most recent issues that you've been noticing coming up when in inspection?
That's a great question, because one of the newer things on the horizon has been the sewer camera inspections. Right, so probably in the last 5 years, those are becoming very prominent, and more agents are catching on to that and understanding that that is a big, huge hidden cost that we've been oversighting for so many years. It's just no one's ever done it, and so now that we actually brought that into part of our inspections, it's been paying off tremendously for homeowners, because that's something when you move in, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 months, it could be a year. We don't know what's hidden in those sewer lines, and so yes,
and they can clog up, right?
Oh yeah, more than that, it's the cost.
Yeah.
So that's been one of the big ones that we've been doing.
That is such an important thing to bring up, because especially as the trees grow up, neighborhoods get older, those roots get into the lines. Yeah. That's a big issue.
Yes, and we were just talking about that. The rose bushes out there, believe it or not, are more of a hazard than just big trees sometimes. They got smaller roots, so they can find their way into those lines. And when they find those littler cracks, they'll actually chase that water all the way down to the main. So that's been a surprise to me. I just learned that within the last couple of years of how invasive those are into the main drain line.
You don't want roses intruding into your pipes, right?
No.
That's really good, because when I look at trees, I'm looking at ficus type of trees.
Absolutely.
Because they have horrible roots. And what other plants do you know of that? I know there's all those ficus benjaminum, elastica, anetida.
You know all.
I know,
so,
yeah.
The ones that are actually on this property.
Magnolia. Ficus or magnolia as well, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are on this property right now. The ones that I walked around and saw that were probably the ones that are the most invasive, yeah, to look out for. So you name them.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there's a whole lot more things you look at than just sewers and pipes.
Yeah, so starting obviously with the protection of the house, right, which is your roof. A lot of people oversight roofs. We got a concrete tile roof, lasts forever, it doesn't leak. You know, well, 8 years later, you got tiles out of place, you got paper showing, you have massive SB flashing. You got to start with what protects the house, and that's the roof, right? A lot of people oversight it because it's like
So a lot of people
Oversight roofs quite a bit. Again, they're out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
Doesn't leak, cool. So starting there, and then basically getting into the 5 majors, I always say that. So your roof, your structure, plumbing, electrical, and then from there will be your big dollar stuff: doors, windows, HVAC systems, right? The bigger, amenities and appliances to the house. From there, it gets broken down to health and safety, and then anything that maintenance-wise needs to be done. So we categorize it as we go through.
That is great. Well, I have to feel like anyone who hires you as an inspector in your company has to feel really good about knowing their new property or their potential new property inside and out. And it has to give them a much better feel, right? Of comfort knowing.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm glad you brought that up because we take great pride in our inspectors and training them to know what they're looking for, and because you're representing someone that's making the biggest investment of their life, right?
Absolutely.
So we're their protector in a sense. So basically we train our guys to know what they're doing. They have to be certified, retraining, and take on that responsibility to, represent your clients.
That's fabulous. Well, Robbie, you've been wonderful. I think that our viewers will really appreciate all this information, and they'll know better why they hire an inspector, especially an accomplished, well-known inspector like you. And you're insured and all that, right?
100%.
See, that's important too.
Yeah.
A lot of inspectors aren't.
You're stepping into a house of this stature, multi-million-dollar properties. You say you broke a water line.
Oh.
It flooded this house. It could be $1 million. So you have to protect yourself. Yeah, and it's just comes with our name. The Elite Group is, we hold the highest standard, and that's how we operate. So
well, after 40 years, I guess, right?
Yeah, we try.
That's wonderful. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Bye.